Hi, welcome to the KYP podcast. My name is Dany.
Kevin.
Your boy James.
We are currently here drinking a wonderful bottle of LEHVI 18, extremely rare, that my sister got for me for my birthday, Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Cheers.
It's funny how the guys were talking to me about this whiskey where, it's like, did you buy this bottle? I was like, no, my sister bought it. And I think for me, the reason why I love this whiskey so much is that it was kind of a little a little gift that my sister got for me. Something that, your loved one gets you something that is significant to you. We've all been in those situations where, sometimes someone gives you a gift. You're like, what the fuck is this? I think that's the beauty about having someone in your life, whether it is family, friends, or relationship, that understands you fully, knows what you want. And so I think one important topic that we could talk about is not about the friends, not about the family, because we all know that's there, but it's about relationship. What makes relationship so special? What makes it so that, you guys really click? And I think the best way to explain that is, what is your best relationship and why was that your best relationship, right?
Damn.
That's good. That's deep.
Danny's getting nice at intros.
Woo! Hey, it took us a while.
Let's go.
But I believe that, we've all been in different relationships. We've all had our ups and downs. Unlike what people like to think, is that love is not your typical rainbows, butterflies type of Disney, what Disney really engraved in our brain, where you got the Prince Charming, you got the princess, fall in love, happily ever after. Relationships are hard. We all know that. We've been through a lot. And it requires to fight for your relationship. But sometimes you just gotta wonder, is that fight worth it? And I think it's easy for me to say, but I don't know about you guys, but I've had one relationship in particular that I fought till the end, but unfortunately we had to end it. But before we get to that story, I think mine is a bit more depressive, but I know one person here that has a very happy, loving relationship. Let's turn it to Jay.
All right. What up? So my best relationship started 5 years ago. It's still ongoing. She's the love of my life. She's absolutely the person that I want to be with for the rest of my life. Where do I start?
I guess start by where you've met Mina.
Where I met Mina? So I know it's a cliche, but I met her on Bumble.
Nice.
I met her online, and she hit me up. At the time, I was such a hype boy, hype beast, posting on Instagram outfits, and I put that on my Bumble profile. And the first thing she told me or messaged me said, "Oh wow, you're such a hype beast." And from then on, I knew she understood me or saw right through me from this whole mirage of social media. She was straightforward, to the point, and called me out for it. And I thought that was such a good conversation starter. And from then, I met her the next day, and I saw her like literally every single day since then. There's not one day that I have not seen my girlfriend at all. So we met online. We hung out for a month straight. I saw her for 30 days straight. And unfortunately, she had to go back to Korea indefinitely. So I didn't know when she was coming back. But on our second or third date, I told her, I love you. We told each other we loved each other. And that's when I knew it was over for me. Like, I was on Bumble just because I came out from a long-term relationship. I was just there to be friends and meet people. But I little did I know I met the person that I wanted to spend my life with. So that's how I met Mina.
I remember when you were going through that breakup and you were like, yeah, I'm going on the apps, it's time to live my best life. Literally 3 weeks later, it's like, yo, I found the love of my life, like, all right, James. But, 5 years later, right? It's been, how long?
It's been, 4.5, 5 in December.
You guys proved it. And I always view James and Mina as, a role model relationship, what I would consider healthy and happy. And James, I didn't want to cut you off.
You didn't cut me off. Yeah. So that's how I met Mina, right?
Yeah.
What else do you want to know? Because I could talk about it forever.
Yeah, I think let's go all the way around the table. Well, not around the table.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're sitting in front of I suck at geometry. Anyways, so Kevin, what was your best relationship? How did you meet her?
Yeah, I would say my best relationship was definitely my last relationship. A really cool girl named Jen. I met her, I think, my last year of university. And, from the start, I was like, I saw her at a party. I want that girl. I want that girl. I was telling all my homies, I want that girl. And, the way I approach women at that time, I was kind of gassed up. I was in my whole phase, filling a hole with validation and casual dating. And so I came up with that same approach. Yo, ma, I want you. You see everybody looking, they can hear me. I know they hear you. I know she hears you. It's all good. I want you. And, her response was, get the fuck out of here, you scrub motherfucker.
Damn.
Oh, and then I was just like, my mind was consumed. Like, oh, you right?
Okay? I got a crap by laughing. Fuck.
Damn, I'm killing out here. I'm killing you. Right?
Comedian.
Yeah, okay, continue.
Cut.
Oh, yeah, continue.
Yeah, and after that, I was just consumed. Like, oh, I need to find a way to make this person my girl. I was talking to her. I'll drop all the girls I'm seeing right now. I could change.
Oh, you got options.
I was in my casual dating phase. I was in my whole phase.
I don't know what that's like.
When I got to know her. So let me back it up a little. After that experience, I got completely fucking just blocked, destroyed by her. And so after that kind of forced me to change my approach with her. Like it wasn't like she don't talk to me or whatever. She just wants a normal conversation, and you know what I mean. And it forced me to get to know her. And through that process, I realized, this is someone who I'm willing to end my whole phase with, and I wanted to be with her one way or the other, but she had very high standards. We didn't be romantic. I think we had like a 6 months where we were literally just friends. It was my last year of university. I was doing no studying, man. Like bare minimum studying. But she was a good student, always in the library. When I was chasing her, I was in the library every day, man. Every night. Don't worry, I'm there.
That was your trick. That was your trick.
So, and getting to the relationship, when we did finally get together, the reason why I think it's my best relationship, it's because it was the relationship in which I communicated the most honest and open, and having tough conversations at times, and just letting our feelings be known to each other, and keeping tabs of each other. And, for a long time in my relationships, I've had a couple toxic ones, and, my experience with Jen, pointed toxic traits in myself and my previous partners, and I really learned so much about it. I think it was the first relationship where I really, did the right things all the way through, and same on her side. And
So you grew.
so I grew so
grew
much
a
from
lot.
her, and I'm so grateful for her. And we're great friends now, but we broke up for personal reasons on my side. I was finding myself, was in a bad space. But yeah, that's definitely my best relationship, and I think it's a model for all the future relationships I'm gonna have in the future, and I'm very confident that I'll have a healthy, happy relationship like James and Mina one day.
Don't compare, bro. Don't compare. Just
No,
do you. Just do
it's
you.
not compare, but healthy and happy is
True,
relative to whatever that is for you, right?
It doesn't come easy. You had to fight. You have to fight for it, as Danny was saying.
Yeah.
In relationships.
Would you say you met her at the wrong time? You met the good person at the wrong time?
Yeah, I think that's one way to put it.
Is it though, or is it just it's the right time?
I definitely think I definitely think if I met her where I had my life figured out, I was already on this path where I'm living for myself, becoming myself, and have had a grasp of that. If that story unfolded in that kind of environment, I think it probably would have lasted longer, and maybe, who knows, developed into something else. But at that time, I didn't know who I was. I was lost in life, and but that relationship had no knock on that. Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, it really opened my mind. Danny, what you got? What you got?
All right, my best relationship. I've only had 3 in my lifetime. I'd say, as much as my first ex changed me, because she did put me on the path of where I am today, I'd like to say my best relationship was kind of my most recent one, my ex. I think she was probably one of the best person, I'd say. I have 2 people in mind when I say that there's 2 girls in my life that really opened up my mind when it comes to love and being a better person. But let's talk about my ex, because I've actually been in a relationship with her. So how I met her. The funny thing, I was a photographer for a concert for this rapper called Doki. DOK2 for most people who don't listen to Korean rap. That's why a lot of people look at my walls like, why do you have a press pass for Doki? That's where I met my ex. So I was a photographer, I walk in, I'm a chill guy. I meet with the organizer and I see this girl looking at me, but it's not any girl. The thing about this girl is that she's like fucking 5'9".
Oh, damn.
So
She's tall as fuck.
that's the thing, right? Is when you're in a crowd full of Filipino girls or whoever, girls who like Doki, they're all like, fucking 4.5 feet. So I notice her right away and she's looking at me. She's staring at me like with leering eyes. And I'm just vibing with the organizer, right? I like to vibe with people. And she sees that energy. So as I go out throughout the time, and I still have the photo album with her face, looking at me, taking pictures. And so, as the concert goes on, I see her, blah, blah, blah. And she's VIP.
Poor girls.
Yeah, the one behind
guys.
her, you could see the stage, right? If you envision the stage, everyone's short. There's a tall girl and there's a fucking gap right behind her, because everyone who stood behind her couldn't see shit.
Wow.
So, anyways, I met her, and at the end, I finished the concert, and me as Dany. Typical Dany, I do not approach girls. Girls approaches me. It's just my general rule.
Love it.
Because I like it when girls know what they want and they will take the effort to approach the thing they want. They will take the effort to get what they want. And I appreciate that. I find that courage so much more admirable. I might not be interested in you, but I have so much more respect in you if you do so. Anyways, so I broke my rule. I wanted to approach her as I'm walking towards her and like collect my balls together. Just be like, talk to her, talk to her, talk to her. Some random girl stops me. Oh my God, you're the photographer. How do you know Doki? Are you friends with him? Can I have your Instagram? I'm like, motherfucker, move out of the fucking way. So as I push, I kind of like talk my way out of the conversation. I see she leaves. I'm like, it's over. I'll never see her again. So I meet up with the organizer. We decide to go meet. Decide to go drink at a bar called Marusan back in the day. But now it's closed, unfortunately. And so organizer turns around, looks at me. How about we go to Ghana Bar? I have some friends there. Cool. So I go to Ghana Bar. I get off. And then I see her walking out with her friend. And I see her from a distance, like, well, fuck, I just blew my second chance to talk to her. So I light up a cigarette just to drown my sorrows. And I see her walking back. She just bought a new pack. That's why she was leaving, to go to the deck. And then her friend walks up to me. He's like, oh my God, you're the photographer. And then she decides to talk to me too. So we connect. Let's call her Kay. But I connect with Kay really well. And throughout the night, we're just vibing. And I was sitting at another table. She was sitting at one table. And me, as a slick fox as I am, not really. So I'd come up to her table with a bottle of soju. And of course, as a gentleman I am, I don't only talk to the girl. I make friends with the table before I talk to her. So I walk up to the table. I say, did you guys enjoy Doki's concert? Yeah, you were the photographer. Yeah. I mean, I saw you guys were sitting there. I recognize you guys. You guys want a shot. We have an extra bottle at our thing. So I assume like you guys would want a shot. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I pour the shot. What's your name? 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 Talk to them. They end up laughing. They talk with one another. And as soon as they have the conversation towards themselves, I just turn around and was like, my name's Dany. How are you?
Slick.
Nice.
So I talked to her, we vibed the entire night, and then I end up sending her all the pictures in advance, even though in my contract it states that I'm not allowed to, but that can't stop me because I can't fucking read.
Naughty.
So
Can we see that on camera?
huh?
Can we
Naughty.
see that on camera?
Well, that contract has been void for like 3 years now,
Okay.
so it's not like it's gonna stop me. Anyway, so we keep talking. I sent her all the pictures, and eventually, I think that's how we clicked. We met up more often, more time and time, and I mean, we could go on and on about all the stuff that happens, but I think one thing we should discuss about is, what do you guys think, based on your favorite relationship right now, makes it so that it's your favorite relationship? It might be she matches your hobby, she matches your vibe. It might be she matches your love languages. What makes it so that Mina, Jay, is your best relationship?
For me, it's a great relationship because, there's two reasons. Let's start with the easy one. It's a cultural similarity. So we're both Korean. We both speak the same language, even though I'm very not fluent. She could speak the language really well. We eat the same food. We like the same... Was that a knock?
No.
Okay, sorry. We like the same food. We like the same shows, the same movies, but the thing that really made me realize that she's the person that I want to be with is the fact that she could communicate really well with my family. So how we view Mina as a family, she's like the glue. So before Mina came into the picture, my family, we're very quiet. We don't really talk, and even if we do, it gets very emotional. There's a lot of factors that makes the family dynamic very awkward. But as soon as she came into the picture, she's like this glue that and this joy, this happiness, this light that we never had in our family. So she could speak with my father. She drinks with my father really well. She could, have the gossip with my mom. So she's really smart. She's quick-witted, and she could just, she's just a joy to have in the family. And that was the first reason that made me realize, wow, this person could, we not only relate culturally, but she could really, be part of the family, and I think that's a really important part, not only for me, but for also my parents, because they wanted a Korean girl into the, their sons to have Korean girls, and it's really about the communication. That's really important. Communicating with your family. There's nothing better. And you guys will see, when your partner can communicate with your parents and have fun, you guys have fun together, you go on vacations together. There's no better feeling than that, because everyone's happy. Because family, you could be sad, you could be mad, but when the whole family is happy and could all get along, that's the best feeling. So that's the first reason. Second reason, I forgot. I'm just kidding. The second reason is, she really made me a fucking man.
Yeah.
Like I was such a, now that I think about it, in my previous relationships, I was such a kid. I was so immature. I always thought I was this mature person, but I really wasn't, because with her, we moved in together. That was the first time. We got Teddy together, our dog. Teddy. And we cook together. We do groceries together. We create, financially, we're basically married, right? We do everything together. We buy everything together. One does the dishes, one cooks, one cleans the house, one is doing laundry. There's just this synergy between us that is unmatched. So having all these responsibilities in a relationship really, it creates a dependence for one each other, but also makes you independent at the same time. Before I met her, I never paid rent. I never paid for a car. I never took care of a dog. I never did laundry, all these things you learn to become an adult. You're actually adulting. When you live together with someone, you're basically, quote unquote married, because you're doing everything together. And it's just, and that makes you more responsible, and you actually grow as a person. You can't be hanging out with your friends at the bar until 3 a.m. You have to be home by 11. You need to prepare for the next day. You need to care for someone's waiting for you at home. You can't just be this college kid and just fuck around. Basically, you have responsibilities. You have someone you need to take care of, especially when they're sick, or they're having issues, their health problems, anything. Like, you need to be there for that person. You can't just think for yourself anymore. You can't be selfish, and I was selfish my whole life. I always did what I wanted to do. Fuck my parents, fuck going to school. I do what I want to do. But since I met Mina, it's like, okay, what do we have to do? What do I have to do to make this situation better? What do I have to do to take care of her? So that's what I mean by being a man, is just you're becoming responsible, and that really fulfills you in a certain way, that like, oh yeah, I have someone that I'm living for, like I can't just leave her. I can't just like go cheat on someone. Like, this is the person that I want to be with, and I don't want to fuck this up. So it made me responsible. And that's why I love her. It's just, there's someone there for me, and I'm there for her. Yeah.
That's like the way he's talking about her. It's like, it's the one. It's the one. That's, like, if you ask any of our guy friend group, everybody says, James is gonna be the first one out of the Nuns boys. 100%, you could be the first one.
100%.
Lock that in. Yeah.
What about you, Kev? What made it your best relationship?
Yeah, so I would say it's along the same lines as James, and I say that because it has a lot to do with growth. And I also felt, I think my last relationship is a milestone for me in terms of my growth as a as a man, and as a boyfriend or a partner, right? If I review my relationships, I think I had a lot of childish tendencies, immature, fragile, masculine, this ego stuff that, made me behave in certain ways or communicate or not communicate in certain ways in relationships when I felt insecure, or I felt like there was problems to talk about. And, I think that's something with age, right? I think back to my partners as well when we were younger age. It's kind of at that age when you're dating, nobody really knows what the fuck they're doing. And, we just disaster all around. Not all around. I'm just, exaggerating a bit. But in this relationship, I really learned to kind of, first of all, realize that was going, like the way I was behaving, the way I was feeling, it comes from somewhere. And first to recognize that it comes from somewhere, and then I started to explore that. So like in the middle of a fight, she would do something really audacious, the audacity, like slam the door on me, and the first instinct is like, whoa, baby. But I remember very vividly, like early on in the relationship, that might have been one of our first fights. And, I think a lot of it has to do with how much we really cared about each other and how much she meant to me. And I understand where she's coming from a lot of the times. And it's not out of disrespect to me. A lot of the times we argue. It's, I needed to understand her. She needed to understand me. So I remember very vividly in one of those first fights, we're going at it. It wasn't a nuclear fight, but it was a fight. And then she really escalated it by bang,
Slam the door on you?
Slamming the door, like leaving the apartment.
Oh, leaving the apartment.
Yeah, leaving the apartment, slamming the door.
That's tough.
And my instant, I instantly went to like nuclear mode. Like, do we press the button? Do we press the button? Let's fucking. And I remember catching myself in that moment, like, whoa, no, you have to understand her context, what her day was like, what her week was like. And, you can't only come with your own perspective, like you were pointing to, when you're talking about what Mina showed you about consideration. You're not living for yourself anymore.
Yeah.
If you really care about developing and nurturing a healthy, happy relationship,
you can't go there.
Have to be considerate.
Yeah.
So I caught my ass in the moment before nuclear.
Thank God.
And I walked up to the door, opened it, like,
Get
hey,
back here. Yeah.
Jen, I'm really sorry. Let's get back. Let's not go on about our days without really like sitting down and talking this through. And that was the first.
Wow.
Probably a couple of days later or the night after, I was like, I reflected on that moment. I'm like, wow, I'm becoming an adult.
You had to reduce it down to that.
No, but I'm growing, right? And I'm just really grateful that I met someone that could make me realize that. Yeah. And Dany, what made your ex, someone you would consider your best relationship?
So I'd say, to reiterate what you both said, is that both of your relationship made you grow as a person. I don't really think that the main goal of my previous relationship was to grow as a person. It was more a byproduct of it. But I'd say the reason why it was my best relationship was that, and you guys all know, like, I am a firm believer that based on your love languages, I've read that book the other night and it was like kind of like enlightening. And I also read that book after my breakup. So I believe that your love languages, what you receive, is what your parents have always, what you give to people is what your parents has always given to you as a kid. So I am a big act of service guy. My dad has done everything in his life to give me what I needed: a roof, food on the table, clothes on my back, and education. And I'm sorry, Dad, for dropping out of school, but I'm doing fine now. But what we receive, I'd like to say, is something that we've never got from our parents. And so for me, what I've never received was words of affirmation. No matter how good I was at something, I won a bronze medal in karate. I won gold medal. I have my own business. I am a successful artist. I'd like to say successful, but let's be honest, we're all fucking struggling artists here.
Yeah, definitely.
But as much as I did everything in my lifetime, I've never had my dad say that it was enough. It was always, you could do better if you just stayed in school. And so what my ex brought to the table was that no matter how hard I was working, no matter how hard it was at night, no matter how much shit I've gone through, she always said, it's okay. You'll be okay. You did your best. Let's just go to bed. I'll wake you up early tomorrow. Let's continue it the next day. There's no point in really dwelling on the current task when you are tired, you're exhausted, and you're mentally not there anymore.
That's good, man, because you used to overwork yourself all the time.
Yeah, I think I burnt out like once.
Yeah.
I've gone through a lot of experience. I mean, I'd like to say that I do not wish on my worst enemy the experience I've gone through. So that's why having someone there to really understand what you've gone through in life and what you are aspiring to build. Because I understand a lot of people do desire security from a person, right? And let's say you meet a girl. The girl wants to date a guy who is successful, who has decent looks, who is there for her. But a lot of guys like us right now, we're like a chess piece, right? We're moving square by square. We're building blocks. Rome wasn't built in a day. We're trying our best. But having that person right there that understand, hey, I know you're an artist. I know you're not making X amount of money a year, but I'm there for you if you need anything. I think that's what makes it special. But to top it off is that she always did those little things for me. I remember the moment I really fell for her was after a long day, came back. I stayed over her apartment and she knew exactly what to do to hit the spot. I was sitting at the table and I was so sad. And in the background, she was cooking me a bowl of ramen. Placed a bowl of ramen exactly how I like it, al dente with 3 eggs on the table. Took a little stand, propped it up in front of me at eye level and placed my phone on there and said, just enjoy your meal. You'll talk to me after.
Wow.
After a long fucking day of work.
She really understood you.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is that she tried so hard to understand who I am, because despite the fact that I am very emotionally cold to people, and that's a story for another day why that happened, but I'm very emotionally cold to people, and having people to understand what you've gone through and be there for you, I think that's the reason why she was my best relationship. She was always there for me. She always did the little things that matters. I don't like people buying me gifts. I don't like, because I feel like I owe them something. But if they buy me gifts, I will treasure it. But she was always doing the little things that matters. Like I remember when she colluded with my best friend to give me a surprise birthday party, even though I fucking hate surprise birthday party. I like to be planned out. I like everything to have a plan, to have a schedule. But she messaged my best friend. They talked. They invited all my friends. One day she comes up to me. She said, we're going to celebrate your birthday on X day. Because my birthday's on Christmas, right? So nobody can come to my birthday. My entire life. You want to come to my birthday? Dude, it's Christmas. You can fuck off. Okay.
I want to say it will be different, but that's
so. Anyways, a day before that day where she invited my friends to celebrate the birthday, she said, "Do you want to go to Sumi Dojo? There's Steffi waiting for you there." Steffi's one of my best friends. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I wore some fucking scrawny ass outfit. I went out, my hair's not done. I'm like tired from work. As soon as I walked in, I saw all my best friends sitting at the table. Happy birthday! And like my balls dropped to the floor. That was a good moment. I think James, you were there, right? James and Mina were there. They fucking saw me bawling, man. Like as I was giving my speech, you know, saying how thankful I was to have these people in my life. You know, I started tearing up, snot coming out of my nose. It was an ugly sight, but it was really wholesome.
It was beautiful. I mean, because we were working together during that time, you told me that you never celebrate your birthday with friends. And to see that, to be part of it, and you know, your girlfriend and your best friend like organize the whole thing. You know, it doesn't even have to be on your birthday, right? It could be a week before or 2 weeks before. But the fact that she did that, the service, I'm sure it means a lot. And that was your first birthday party, like your first surprise birthday party with friends?
I'd say that was my first one, yeah.
Wow.
I'd say meaningful. Either that or my first my memory is not great right now, but I'd say that's the first memorable one for me.
Wow.
But yeah, that's why I loved her so much. And honestly, it's unfortunate we're not together anymore. It's been 2 years. You know, people change eventually. As I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, similar to Kevin, it was the right person at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
I wasn't at the greatest stage of my life. She was still discovering stuff. But, oh well.
Do you guys still keep in touch? Are you amicable or kind of lost?
I think we ended up amicably. She messaged me once a few months ago saying that the police caught the person who robbed her.
Oh, wow.
Just to keep me updated, because I was going to punch this guy in the throat. I was going to rip his throat out.
Yeah, for sure.
But
or track him down.
Yeah. But, you know, that's the thing, is that I think what's the best takeaway from this is that even though our breakup was really just, I would say, ugly, not ugly in a way where we fought and we said like fuck off, but more in a way where I wanted to fix all the problems, so I kept crawling back to her. And eventually it led downhill. And to have all of that happen and still have her update me means that she doesn't hate my guts.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, I'd rather remember the positive stuff rather than the negative stuff. And I think besides Jay, because you're lucky, Kevin, we can talk about it, where I think it's just better to keep in mind all the positive thing that person does. And I think that's also good, is because yes, Jay, you found the one who's right for you, and maybe on another episode we can discuss more on the topic on what you were looking for in a girl. But I think for Kevin and I think now that we found our best relationship, is that not that we're looking for the exact person that can replace that person, but more like it was an experience for us to understand ourselves better as people and how we can be better, I would say, companions, because I always see relationship as being a team effort.
Yeah.
Being companions to a significant other.
Yeah. It's kind of like a guiding compass.
Exactly.
For relationships to come.
Yeah, so trust me, like
I'm sure you went through that process too. Yeah,
this is gonna prepare you for the next level, and you're gonna be a totally different person. It's gonna change your life. So just keep in mind on what you learned. Keep it positive, as you said. Don't think of it as a negative. It really like it doesn't seem like it, but it grew. You've grown from it.
Yeah.
You know, so don't worry, it's coming.
100%.
Right? It's coming. You have it right now, but I'm telling you, it's coming. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Wisdom from Daddy James. Thank you.
Ooh. And on that note, I'd like to conclude our episode. And so, any final words, guys? Just some lasting thoughts on the guy
It's
who has
coming. All right.
it's
So don't worry
coming.
about it.
as the weekend said,
Love,
it's coming.
It's coming, bitch.
Whoa.
You heard me? Love, it's coming.
Relax. Don't go nuclear on us, all right?
I apologize for my passion.
But yeah, thank you for listening to this episode of Kill Your Pride. Again, feel free to check out our merch, KYP. Yes.
You see that turn? How
Sponsored
smooth
by
was that?
Kill Your Pride.
Anyways,
Cop your hoodie now.
my name is Dany, and these are my co-hosts.
Kevin.
James.
And remember to kill your pride.
Kill your pride, baby.